Rajeev Gowda ji.
Thank you, Vice Chairman, sir. I have 5 minutes, so I'll stick to 5 main points. Sir, today is the death anniversary of the tragic death of Sri Deen Dayal Upadhyay. And the BJP always talks about Antyodaya as the philosophy of Deen Dayal Upadhyay ji. So what is there in this budget that reflects that concern, I want to ask, sir? Recently, there was a survey that showed that consumer expenditures have dropped 8.8% in rural India for the first time in Indian history. Poverty is worsening, malnutrition is worsening. And what does this government do? When we are 102nd on the global hunger index, they slash food subsidies in this budget. They cut Manrega funding, which is a social safety net for the poorest of the poor, what they go to and turn to when they're desperate. And further, they don't release those funds in time to states to pay those people to whom this money is already due. Even their newfound love for refugees, the funding for refugees and rehabilitation has been cut by 78.6%. So, they talk about aspirational. They talk about caring. So what is the story about investment in human capital? Education budgets, the share of money going to education as a share of government expenditure was 4.14% in 2014. Now it is 3.3%. Is this how we are building for the future? In real terms, there is no increase from last year to this year. There is this whole new education policy, and for that there is no funding that's visible. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, another empty slogan. For that, last year's budget estimates at 280 crores. This year's budget estimates, it's come down to 220 crores. We want to improve the quality of education and train teachers. The Malviya teacher training initiative, that is down 62% from 130 crores to 50 crores. What about Digital India, sir? Another term that's often parroted. That has come down by 23%. And funding for research and innovation has also come down by 50%. So, what does that mean in terms of investment in the future? It's a real tragedy, sir. So, some of my colleagues have already covered a range of topics, but I want to further highlight the issue of what happens to states. We are the Council of States, and what this government is doing in terms of the terms and conditions of the 15th Finance Commission and the manner in which funds are sought to be collected through cesses, which are not shared with states, all these result in less and less money, only 30% of overall revenues going to the states. So this basically means that while you try here to maintain fiscal deficit, some kind of control over fiscal deficits, you're actually passing on that burden to states. States are where most of the implementation takes place. The overall national government deficit, center and states, is increasing, and that will hurt the economy going forward. So, the finance minister has the good fortune of being elected from my state of Karnataka. And what is the gratitude that is shown to Karnataka in this budget? After years, we had fought for my native district of Kolar to get a railway coach factory. So that has been replaced in this budget with a repair workshop. If a repair workshop is what the BJP considers to be a coach factory, I do not know what world they're living in. This is part of their sale of the railways that they're focusing on. Across party lines from Bengaluru, we've been fighting for suburban rail. The 1,600 crores was announced in the budget. In the railway-focused pink book, only 1 crore can be found. What is going on? Who are you trying to fool? And that is to the most productive city, which adds so much to our GDP. So, in the economic survey, there was a whole chapter on trust. Trust is vital, because only when there is confidence will there be investment and growth. So, this government and its budget suffers from a trust deficit, a credibility deficit. There is a massive infrastructure announcement, 103 lakh crores as a national infrastructure pipeline. So that is not a pipeline, it's a pipe dream. In this, the government is only putting in 12,500 crores in the kind of environment that we're in today, where the revenues of India Inc. is down the lowest in 16 quarters, when capacity utilization is extremely low, where are they going to find the private resources or the foreign resources to make up for that little amount that the government is putting in for infrastructure? Consumer confidence is at its worst in 5 years, sir. And overall, the largest problem is with data. If you don't have proper numbers, if you cannot have something to guide you, how are you going to prepare a budget? How are you going to take India forward? We are caught in a web of deceit as far as this government and its numbers are concerned. And ultimately, sir, it's a very, very tragic time. In the economic survey, they had a whole section on thalinomics, and they tried to fool us, saying that the price is remaining the same. No, the amount of food is coming down, and soon under this government, people's thali will be khali. Thank you very much.